Welcome back to Spicy Tech. I am Mark.
I'm Cry.
And today we're running 11.4.7.2 FSD Beta. And we're running it on assertive mode to see how it performs. Primarily looking to see if it is actually assertive in terms of its confidence and how defensive it is when it comes to making turns and just in general operation of it. And this is our first impressions too as well. So we'll be looking at highway navigation and just some quick left turns and right turns.
Pretty much a big highway test. And I think this is our first for this version, right?
It will be, yes. So we'll be looking at the off-ramp, on-ramp. We got the green light. Let's engage now. And this is, again, the tricky left turn that we have here where cars are going straight, cars are going right and left. Some cars don't indicate, so it's difficult to make it. But now we have a time to go. And a little bit hesitant at first, but then she gets up to a speed and makes the turn. So that was all right. That was decent.
It's like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because I just didn't like the jerkiness, that's the only thing.
It was a little bit jerky in terms of moving back and forth before the left turn, and then it made the left turn, yeah. Correct. That's true.
The speed was okay, it just felt a little bit rushed as well.
Yes, that left turn definitely was not assertive. Even though we have it on assertive mode, it was still very hesitant. It was almost as if it was unsure if the oncoming car was going to go straight or make a left turn before going. We had enough room.
Yeah, and they did actually see the car across turn on their left indicator. So as soon as it saw that, it should have got the message. I feel like what it should have done was slowly creep up until they set that indicator and then go confidently.
For me, I would have seen that car a mile away and and just make the left turn. So we have a left turn coming up here, and well, probably by the next, after this light here, someone just cut in there. And she handled that pretty well. There was no heavy braking.
Yeah, and that wasn't too bad. It wasn't really a cut in, I think. They did okay.
Wow, she squeezed to the left there and indicated when...
After
getting into the lane. I'm just going to report that. Yeah, so we need to report these situations, because otherwise it's going to be trained on
garbage.
Well, exactly, garbage in, garbage out, right?
Yeah, and the goal of the system is to make it safer and more accurate than a human driver, right?
And to follow road rules.
Well, exactly.
So in all events, you will be following what the rules are, what the laws and rules are.
Should be the perfect driver.
Exactly. So for example, and you might see it here, when we're making this left turn, the system has a tendency of going to the farthest right lane after making that left turn. It's supposed to stay in the furthest left lane, and then start indicating and getting off to the right side if it has to remain on the right, etc.
Yeah, and just in case someone randomly decides to make a right turn at the same time, they need some room to do that, right?
Exactly. And I've seen a lot of humans actually making that turn, making a left turn and then going to the furthest right lane, which is not right. So we have right of way now. She needs to get up to speed. It needs to give it some more speed. Okay, I didn't give it any joules.
Oh.
A little hesitant on that left turn there. And she stays in the left lane, so okay, that's good.
Yeah, there's a huge lineup of people on the right, so I think it saw that.
She kind of jerks to the right here without any kind of indication and goes up to speed. That was all right because we had no cars. We had a safe distance between the car behind us and ourselves.
Okay.
But yeah. I still would have indicated there to get, and just for visibility's sake, to let drivers know behind that I'm going into this lane.
I think that was like an 8 out of 10. The only thing I would have changed is the speed at which she made the turn, because the hesitance really didn't make sense. Because we had right of way.
Right.
So you should kind of be quick with it, because you have a whole line of people behind you usually.
Well, exactly, yes. And she was a little bit hesitant there to go initially, but then picked up speed. But then it just felt like a switch. It didn't really feel natural. So we have a whole bunch of cars here now on Highway 401, which is, one of the busiest highways in North America. Indicates, gets into the lane really, really smoothly and quickly. That's a 10 out of 10 for me.
That was really nice. We just gotta get out of here. Okay, nice. This was nice. These two?
So far, so good. There's a car
to
our left here, and you have a person coming into our lane here. She wants to get into that lane. She does so,
Oh.
but then there's someone trying to get into our lane here, and she cuts
the
them.
speed up, I don't know. That speed
Yeah.
up wasn't necessary.
Wasn't necessary. I mean, we were making that lane change, and we would have to slow down relatively abruptly in order to give them some room.
Right, but I think that was a little bit dangerous because we kind of like sped up into their blind spot
Yeah,
in a way that I think wasn't really a good idea.
yeah,
And we kind of like did a bad move on them.
yeah. I'm gonna report that.
Yeah, because you have those situations where sometimes you look and it's clear, but then somebody just randomly goes into your blind spot, and then you could have problems that way.
Right, so she's slowing down because she's seeing the car on the right side here trying to get into our lane. But then we're kind of creating a mess behind us.
There's a lot of mess in front of us, to be fair.
A lot of cars on the road right now, so I'm
Yeah.
really surprised. Okay, that's okay. So far no disengagements other than the ones that I do to report, because they need to be trained on how to accurately handle these situations. Okay, she's getting in the lane, but there's someone creeping up on us.
And then this person's pressing
Some brakes in front of us.
So the gap is just getting smaller.
She handled that well.
I think we have a lot of room on the right, so she can go on the right if anything. Because I think this person behind us is getting annoyed.
We have a fork coming up now, and Marsha just has to remain to the right. She indicates and gets into it. Okay, so that was fine. Person definitely behind us was a little bit pissed because you can see him now speeding across. So this is a little bit tricky here. We have a right turn that we have to stick onto,
Woo!
but she kind of sways. She sways into it,
Yeah.
which is not safe.
That was kind of dangerous how she swayed there.
Okay, so now we're going now. So still no disengagement, so that's pretty good, right?
I mean, that was more for us to correct.
Stay alive, yeah.
Stay alive.
Nah, just kidding. It was fine.
It
was
could
just
have
not
been
natural
way
at all.
more gradual.
It felt like a reckless driver. We have a Tesla
Just
speeding up here.
Whoa. We're making use of that dual motor. It's pretty good that we're in this lane now because like we're seeing everybody passing us, and it's actually good that it's staying here. Notice also it's not going on this right lane because this right lane exits.
Yes.
So it's really good so far. It's on assertive mode, and it's not just randomly like
Weaving in and out of traffic
yeah.
on the left side.
And not even weaving in a way that it's like good. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
like a safe kind of weaving. Like, okay, I want to pass this person, go left, pass, come back. Like it's not really doing that. It doesn't need to do that right now.
Right.
But it's staying put and it's not being annoying pretty much. I think coming up, we have no real reason to move from this lane except for the 407 exit, which we'll have to come out of soon.
We have a fork here, and we realize that it just stays. The system just stays straight. So that was good. I felt some slight, very, very
Swaying, right?
some slight swaying to the right, and then it just adjusts. We have a car coming out here. Is it going to hit brakes?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
She's good.
Autopilot would, notoriously do that.
Okay, so we have that exit coming up, and we have to get out of this lane. I would have waited to pass the truck first, though.
Yes.
Because we don't know if they can see us.
That's a good point, yes. I normally just overtake the truck. Once I try to keep as much distance as possible from the truck. It's just a huge hazard on wheels, right? So.
Right, and you have to pretty much make sure that you can see the driver's face in the mirror.
Correct.
Because that means they can see you.
Exactly.
Because it's nice. We're in the correct lane now. Oh.
Spoke too soon.
Well, I mean, she saw that they're slowing down and that they're pressing brakes, and she actually is overtaking now. That's pretty good.
Keeping up the speed.
Right, but I think we have to exit soon. So I think she might find a gap in here.
Okay.
Really nice. Some good old German driving. In a good way. I don't know if that came out wrong, but it's good. It's very good.
Then we have this. This is an issue that we have with the latest 11.4.7. Whoops, and then is it going to swing to the
I
side?
don't like that at all.
Yeah, that was very unnatural. So again, that wasn't a disengagement. It was fine in terms of
technically,
like
but I wouldn't
getting
do
us to
that.
point B, but it didn't feel safe. It didn't feel natural, and it just felt like aggressive. So the assertiveness tends to be more aggressive. Like if the mode was set to aggressive as opposed to assertive.
Oh, we might have an issue here. We have to go in the middle.
Yeah,
we have to go on the left lane
on
here.
the left side here,
Ooh.
so it's not doing the right thing.
Oh boy, oh boy. Ooh.
Yeah, so that wasn't good. So, so we're getting some rough patches here.
We actually never had that issue before, though. The coming off one.
It would
that
usually just stay straight, yeah.
It normally just goes in the correct one, so that was really weird.
That's some new regressive, like some new backtracking behavior.
Yeah.
Back steps, or steps back.
Too many words to describe.
So 11.4.7 introduced the wonderful automatic windshield wipers when there's no rain.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah. So now it has a tendency of just removing dust from the windshield, which is not great because that could damage the actual wipers itself. And now it's getting confused with the truck. The truck is taking up a good chunk of our lane here. So
actually,
she was able to do that. It's just the positioning of the truck. It wasn't fully accurate. It looked like it was coming into our lane, kind of.
I think.
Yeah, whoa. Getting confused with the lanes, going into the left turn only lane and then backtracking to go straight. So we're having that issue now with the left turns, and it has been reported a lot. So you've witnessed it.
Why are we?
You have witnessed it here with us, and she's trying to get inside of here.
Swaying so
but she's
much.
Like really, really unnatural and robotic there. So I'm hoping in the future we see some improvements with that there, folks. But this is the end of our journey for this video.
I have one quick thing before we leave.
Of course.
I think the navigation was wrong also. It was going to make us turn left over there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I mean, pretty much overall, like a 7 out of 10. The highway was really buttery.
Yeah.
Besides obviously the bug with the windshield wiper, but that's,
Yeah, that was introduced with
Probably
11.4.7 and it's still here with 11.4.7.2. So I'm hoping in the future that neural net is ironed out completely and we can move on from this
hellscape. No, I'm joking.
this windshield wiper automatic, this whole plague of it's just wiping out. It's just wiping a dry screen. So I'm not too sure why it's doing that all the time. So if you enjoyed it, folks, I mean, if you have any comments, let us know what you think about the overall run today. And this is our first impressions of 11.4.7.2, and we have some future videos coming in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. And thank you again, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.